Welcome to the Young and the Restless, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside
Jemba Moon.
You can listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on those podcast services and 9 a.m. on the YouTubes now as well. Now I'm running a little bit late. I'm kind of drip feeding them as on to be like, hey, here's 12 videos and watch your subscription feeds to fill up with our shit. So instead I'm drip feeding it. But by the week before WrestleMania, you will have them all on YouTube, and we'll be hitting
Up to date.
That's like 20 days away. They'll be done in 20 days, just saying.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want to join the wrestling conversation, head to Facebook at facebook.com/group/popculturist or the Discord channel link in the description below. Come chat wrestling with us. We are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/popculturist, which in a couple of weeks we'll be doing a Wrestlemania predictions using the power of WWE 2K19. And if you want to show your love, popculturist, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts like this, not this one, but I believe the store's on sale as of right now.
Oh, yeah.
So take 30% off your PopC goodies. Pick yourself up a Young and Restless t-shirt for funsies.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm good, man. This road to WrestleMania is a roller coaster, and I am hyped.
Yeah, I'm getting super excited. Like we're starting to get close. We're within it's 20 days, so we're getting right on the precipice. It's getting super, super close.
Yeah.
Now in the past, I've been like hyped vicariously for Mania because I know it was a big thing. But this year, it's like hype. It's huge. It's massive, and it's just this bubbling excitement in me. I noticed, for those that may not know, Village Cinemas. Showcasing it, so you can pay like the $20-$25, whatever it is, and in Geelong at least it's gold class. It's $25. You're in gold class.
Okay.
300 and something minutes. It's 6 hours.
Yeah, that's
6 hours,
awesome.
$25 gold class. Brilliant.
Yeah,
so if you're not
good.
watching it at home and
Gold
you want to
class.
do something cool, go to the cinema, man. Like, what a fucking great way to watch it.
I think every Village Cinemas is doing it.
Pretty much.
Because, I got the email for Village.
Yeah, looking at the list, it's pretty much everyone. So
Badass.
that's fucking awesome. Like, I remember when I did a Star Wars marathon in the Village here, and there was like the 6 films, and I was like, that's a real long time. That was worth it. This would be brilliant. Like, the only downside, of course, gold class expensive, so all the food's really expensive, sort of stuff. But even if you don't go, you can just like smuggle shit under your shirt. They assume wrestling fans are all big fat dudes, so you can just get away with it. Just shove chickens under there and have.
I've got enough points to get a free small popcorn.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, running that.
Yeah.
But so we'll be watching it here. I'll be watching it here at least. So Craig from the Mullet Show will be joining us.
Oh yeah.
He has been requested by his fan base to do a reaction stream.
Oh,
so we
heck
may
yeah.
have a camera set up in the corner.
That would be
at the Twitter
awesome.
account, the Mullet Show, and we'll probably just eat and drink and fucking watch wrestling.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to have that going too.
Because obviously we can't watch. We can't
put it on
put
screen.
the stream on there because that's breaking some things. But we can at least watch us react to it. Because I guarantee there'll be some moments.
There will be some.
We got Kurt Angle and those sort of things.
Yeah,
very,
100%.
very cool. But other than that, my week's been
Yeah.
So let's get into it. So this week we have done something a little bit different. Mostly due to both our disorganizations. All of the Raw notes were taken by Jem. All the SmackDown notes were taken by me. But I'll lead it if you want.
Yeah. So Raw this week started in Chicago, Illinois.
Yep.
With Brock Lesnar finally making appearance at work.
Yeah, so it's very. They did make sure to mention that a lot. Actually, like, well, this is the first time he's going to come to us. Yeah, very interesting.
Yep. So Brock Lesnar and the Advocate Paul Heyman. So obviously they come out. Paul's talking about how Seth mentioned that Brock has struggled with people of Seth's size and stature and athleticism and stuff like that. And Paul made it a very apparent point to mention that he's beaten every single one. AJ, Finn Balor, Daniel Bryan, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's nothing to him. And they basically called him an idiot for facing Drew McIntyre tonight. Like, you're dumb. You're 20 days out of WrestleMania. You're fighting Brock Lesnar, and you're going to get yourself ruined just like your mates this week. Like, well done, hero. Like, Paul had some pretty ruthless things to say.
It was pretty good. It was very good.
I love listening to that man speak. Oh, my God. He is so good. But yeah, as he's speaking about it, he's like, Paul Heyman's like, Seth, you're going to get what you deserve. And Drew McIntyre pops out. And he's like, you know what? Thanks, Paul. thanks for giving me the notoriety that I deserve. Thanks for acknowledging that. But yeah, as he's speaking, Seth just comes wailing out with the chair and starts belting on Drew McIntyre.
It was really cool.
It was so good. I couldn't help but count because I'm a weirdo. When he went to that, like when he stopped for a minute and they're like, you gotta leave, Seth, put the chair away. And Seth was like, okay, maybe not. And started smacking Drew with the chairs again. 13 hits. Just consecutively, like 13 times. I was watching it like, how is he still on his knees? Like I would be in a fetal position crying right now. Like, oh, brutal. But 13 chair hits. Every time it came back on, I was counting. I was like, 1, 2, 3. Like, every bobbing up and down with every hit. It was great. And then, yeah, obviously, Brock does a runner with Mr. Paul Heyman because Seth goes chasing him with the chair. Yeah. So after this, we have...
Before we jump into that,
Go.
it's Brock Lesnar fact. So,
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar's come here and he's finally made his like 8th appearance at Raw in just as many months.
Yeah.
So he sort of pops up, does whatever, and then leaves. Right. Mm-hmm. It has been 15 years. 15 years.
Yes.
Since Brock Lesnar has wrestled on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, wow.
He wrestles at pay-per-views and he makes appearances at Raw.
Yeah.
He hasn't wrestled on Raw in 15 years.
Well, shit. And they call him a champion.
So this is a discussion I was having with Dylan. Dylan was about like, oh, sorry. I keep
No, you're right. That's so good.
So Dylan, the point is like, so like, what's the point if he's never around?
Yeah, exactly it.
They believe, like, in terms of like, if we have the belt be a rarity, it make it mean more. It makes it more of a valuable asset. Like when it actually does appear, you kind of go, ooh, but you don't. The less you see it, the less you give a fuck about it. And that's
Let's take the United States Championship, for instance. Which
is getting real bit of a drive again now.
Yeah.
See how we go there, but
because we're seeing it more, and it's on a proper champion.
Yeah, and this is the thing. So, like, for that reason, I think I know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
But, ideally, Seth is in his prime right now.
Yeah.
He did have a couple of weeks off because I know he was nursing an injury.
Yep.
So he's back. He's ready. We've seen him fight as the Shield. We saw him, now take on Drew McIntyre. Or we see him later take on Drew McIntyre. Like, this is rock and roll. So
and he's got a fire under him, too.
That's it.
Paul's
coming out and doing all these spits and saying this, that, this, and the other. You're silly, you're dumb. He's like, nah, mate, I'm proving myself. I'm training. I'm getting ready to take on Brock Lesnar.
And then when he does things like that, you can see the fear in Paul Heyman's eyes.
Yeah, no,
Paul Heyman is afraid now.
It's been great to sort of see it took 7 days for Paul Heyman to rebut.
Yeah, what happened?
Paul Heyman, the advocate, the mouthpiece, took 7 days to get back at Seth Rollins for what he said last week about about Brock losing to these three. Not having the best performance to these three people. 7 days.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, he's clearly shook.
In the age of the internet, where he could have said shit at any point.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Shooketh to the core. Love it.
Pooping.
But yeah, so we
More
have
like
a little...
Heyman, I'm saying.
Yeah, Poop Heyman. So Finn Balor comes out and has a little chat about Brock Lesnar saying, it's my title, I'll be getting it back. In doing so, he gets interrupted by both Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. Because we find out he's obviously in a tag match. It's Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor and
a mystery at the time.
A wrestler of his choosing. I found it hilarious that Lio Rush was like, oh, look, Bobby, the leprechaun's sad because you're carrying his pot of gold around your waist. I was like, like, savage.
I'm like, but you said it was his pot of gold.
Yeah, exactly it. That's exactly it. But yeah, so obviously they come in, start talking some smack, and then Finn's like, wait. Here's my partner. And I saw this coming from a mile away, and I love that I was right. He introduces Braun Strowman.
Yeah. Well, once again, it sort of makes sense. The idea that, Finn Balor is that faster. He is that sort of zippier competitor, right?
He's the Lio Rush.
He's the Lio Rush to Bobby Lashley. So if you think of who is on Raw, who could be the Bobby Lashley to Finn Balor, it has to be the monster among men, Braun Strowman.
So yeah, I was stoked about that, even though I was expecting it. I was still like, yes. And yeah, they get into a a bit of a kerfuffle and a scuffle and big old wrestling match. And what I found,
weird.
So what I found interesting is obviously Finn's always the underdog. He always gets a bit dominated in these matches and that sort of thing. And he finally gets back and he gets Braun the tag, and Braun just cleans house to the point where Bobby Lashley's like, nope, and walks out on Lio Rush. Just walked out. He's just looking back like, and just kept walking while Lio Rush got snapped in half by Braun Strowman. Was not expecting that.
No, but see, what this is doing is this is showing a couple of things. Bobby Lashley understands there's a feud. There's something here between him. So when Bobby Lashley has done his bullshit as 3-man bland, you know, like he gets involved, he drops Braun on stairs, like even though he's not the key instigator, he is part of this. Therefore, Braun, who we've seen in the past, someone that's relatively uncontrolled of their emotions, would direct that hatred, that anger at all three of them, and he just happened to be the one closest at that time. Having Lio Rush cost Bobby the Intercontinental Championship twice, like it makes total sense for him to looking at disregarding him. We thought this was going to happen already. Like some of the actions after last time he lost the belt were like, there is no way that they're going to continue at this point. But
then obviously last week Lio helping him get the belt back was a big thing.
Exactly.
So
Seems like it was like, cool, you've done well, and then he's like, you know what? Nah, fuck you.
Bobby's clearly just like, I still don't trust you. So you're on your own, kid. Like, I'm not sacrificing myself for you.
It does show this fracture in their relationship, which is, you know, always, as long as I've been rewatching, like they've been quite a close connection. It's always good, you know, especially because Bobby Lashley can't really talk, so it's nice to have Lio Rush be there and be the hype man for him.
Yeah.
I'd hate to hear what Bobby Lashley has to say once he's out.
Yeah. I'm honestly, it kind of excites me though, because Lio Rush is a phenomenal athlete and I can't wait to see him in singles competition without being, you know, Bobby Lashley's side piece. Like, I am really excited to see what this guy can do for himself. Like, if he can do that for somebody else, imagine what he can do on his own.
True. Or even if we do get to a point we see a Lashley versus Lio match, like, that would be pretty cool.
That would be definitely interesting.
Or even...
Oh. He's thinking something, guys.
Intercontinental Championship match. Mania. Lio. Bobby Lashley.
Ooh.
It's unlikely.
It's unlikely, but that'd be badass.
Yeah, because it's one of those things with Mania. Like, there's not always a lot of singles matches. We've got a lot of singles matches on the card already. So it's unlikely, but it'd be fucking cool.
That would be badass.
Or Braun Strowman. Bobby Lashley.
Ooh.
Actually, no. Braun later on says that he's part of the
Dusty Rhodes?
No, Dusty Rhodes is NXT.
That's it. The somebody championship thing.
Not the Great Khali.
Keep
going, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. I've got it written down somewhere, I assume. So next we have a moment of bliss with our WrestleMania host, Alexa Bliss. And what I loved is she's like, I've been wanting to say this for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, Elias. And Elias is a guest.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
That's it. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal. We got that.
Had a stroke for a while, but I got there.
Yeah. Elias has a big announcement. He will be the headline musical act for WrestleMania.
Cool. It's cheaper. He's already there.
Yeah, exactly. He's already there. Yeah. He does it anyway.
No Maroon 5 required.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was a bit interesting. And, you know, Alexa's like, don't worry, you're not going to get interrupted on this show. Like, this is a safe place for you and me, says she. And they're talking about, obviously, the whole thing. And then all of a sudden... no, wait, Jose. No, wait, Jose.
Like just obnoxious horns and...
Yeah, and we're just like, I'm like... What? And then out comes Heavy Machinery in the conga line. And like Otis is losing his mind and Tucker's there like, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. Alexa's pissed. Elias is pissed because he's just been interrupted again. And Alexa like pulls this whole like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This was a shtick. This wasn't supposed to happen. Otis, we practiced this 10 times. And then out of nowhere, Jose, dressed up as like a hamburger with a luchador mask on, just comes wailing on Elias.
It's funny because I was thinking that I'm like, where's Jose?
Yeah,
normally
it's his conga line.
Normally he's front and center.
Yeah.
But this time, like I noticed there was a guy behind Alexa with his face down. I'm like, That'd be pretty cool. Just comes out of there, but like even off camera in as a
Yep.
hamburger. I'm like, cool, still win.
Yep. And then that puts us into a match with Elias versus No Way Jose, which gets made. One thing we did notice, this is something I was joking about. No Way Jose's appearance at the moment. He looks like a cross between Kofi Kingston when he had the Jamaican shtick and Naomi. So we pegged him Naofi.
It's got this weird. Now, as we are Australian, I'm sure you're aware.
He looks like a mumble rapper.
It's this weird, like he's rocking the green and gold, which we should feel us go, but because it's that neon.
He looks like a pina colada.
Yeah, he looks like a beverage.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, but he also looks like he should be doing like some sort of capoeira break, dance fighting.
Or like he should be mumble rapping somewhere on a gangster street with a gat and
he kind of looks like Eddie from Tekken 3 a little bit.
He's looking a bit weird, but
I like the new hair though. The new hair, it's confronting because I'm used to seeing No Way with his big, big afro, but I like what they're doing because the new look sometimes means a new push.
Yeah,
we're going to see some more No Way Jose,
which I'd love to see because I was really cool. I was really interested in watching him fight. Like he puts up a really good fight. But obviously, as expected, Elias does get the win.
Of course.
Even with the conga line on ringside.
Yeah.
Exactly it. So after this, we have Kurt Angle come out and he's announcing his Wrestlemania opponent, which obviously we're all excited about, and he decides that it's going to be the man that's caused him hell.
See, the thing is, so it looks like there's been a change in time zones. Because with obviously daylight savings in the US, everything's been moved back an hour. So with Raw normally airing at midday on a Tuesday for us. So I booted up at midday. I'm like, cool, I'll at least see the start of it. I was at work. I was on my lunch break. So yeah, I'll check it out. And it's already started. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle was like, well, I'm here to announce my match for my opponent for WrestleMania. I'm like, oh fuck. I had this moment of, oh shit, alright, who gonna be? Thinking, alright, could be this person, could be Cena, could be Ray, could be this, maybe it's someone different, maybe it's like Finn Balor for fuck knows reasons. Like I'm just going through this list in my head, like list. And then he comes in, he's like, okay, because as you said, this is the guy that's given me hell for the better part of, this year. I'm like, fucking Drew McIntyre. That's weird. I personally think Drew McIntyre should be fighting Roman Reigns. That's weird. Okay, let's keep going down. Who else has been hanging out with Roman Reigns? Okay, yeah, cool. Baron Corbin. I'm like, get the fuck out.
I think it's going to be a bait and switch. And I think somehow Corbin's going to weasel his way out of it and we'll get what the crowd was chanting. So obviously the crowd was pissed.
Yeah.
And immediately the We Want Cena chant started. And I was like, yeah, don't we all?
We'll get to that in the dirt sheet.
Yes, but I reckon it's a bait and switch. I reckon Corbin will weasel his way out of it, and we will get our Mania Dream match: Kurt Angle versus John Cena.
Yeah, like it's this killer because this is the thing. We've seen this match before. Yeah. We've seen it in episodes of Raw. People have seen it at house shows. Like this pairing is not a new thing. Granted, the feud this makes total sense. Like, Baron Corbin is the one that lost Kurt Angle his job. Yeah. He lost his job as GM, so that
and Kurt hasn't had any retribution yet.
Exactly. Well, he has. Like, they've had the beefs here and there, but this is the man that forced Kurt to come back into the ring, to, as they've said in earlier episodes, for him to come back to feed his family, to put money on the table. Yeah, exactly. Because as a GM role, you know, it's not cushy, but it's certainly a guaranteed job. You don't have to fight for your job. Exactly. And then he's forced at his old age of whatever the fuck to then go back into the ring and fight people that are drastically younger, better and stronger than him. And
who haven't had surgeries to fix themselves. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, poor Kurt can't raise his arms over his head. Well, because his neck
not many other people in the wrestling, probably aside from Ciampa right now, have been wrestling with a broken freaking neck.
Exactly and that's his whole shtick. He won gold medals with a broken freaking neck. So Kurt's always had neck issues to the point where, like I said, he can't go
hence
higher
his weird
than
stance. His head's always like he turns with his shoulders rather than his neck.
Yeah, exactly it. There's a reason he looks a bit like a thumb, because he's kind of fused to look like one.
He is a thumb.
But yeah, so definitely an interesting pairing. I'm keen to see where it goes. But obviously he is on his farewell tour, as he called it, and he was having a match tonight against another one of these people.
Sorry, I just had the best inspiration for the title of this video.
Go.
The title of this episode is going to be Kurt Angle announces his Mania competitor, and it sucks.
Yeah. There
it is.
I love it.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, write that down. While you're doing that, so yeah, Kurt's match this evening is against Chad Gable. So from what we understand, Chad Gable is a huge fan of Kurt Angle. A lot of
fellow gold medalist.
Fellow
Olympian,
Olympian, Olympic wrestler. Gable was saying, he's aspired to be like Kurt Angle. He dressed very similarly. They both had that little stereotypical college wrestling leotard thingy on with the straps and stuff like that. Very similar movesets. So you can definitely tell that Gable has taken a lot of his influence as a wrestler from Kurt Angle.
Yeah, no, and this is a great way because it seems to be like this Kurt giving some time, giving some maybe some people that he normally wouldn't have wrestled under his normal tenure, right? So Gable, brilliant wrestler.
And especially on his own too. I was stoked to see him in one-on-one competition.
Yeah, so it's this great way to sort of showcase, obviously, Kurt getting his farewell tour, getting to sort of pick and choose who he takes on against someone who is awesome, and he's kind of getting lost in tag team right now.
Yeah.
Like him and Bobby Roode, they great combo. That's always cool to watch, but Gable is fucking rad.
Phenomenal.
Gable's rad.
Yeah.
But notice how he did also come out holding the towel like John Cena was.
Yes, ready, willing, and Gable.
Yeah, which is fine. I understand, that's, you can also get Daniel Bryan towels and whatnot. That's not new.
Exactly it.
But the idea is, I think...
He's
hinting.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't pick that up until you mentioned it. But yeah, one thing I did get a bit was he was like, Kurt, the pleasure is all mine.
Fucking hero,
this is you're my hero. This is an honor for me. It was very sweet. That was super lovely, and he did give Kurt a good fight, which I loved. He did. It was really awesome.
Even same for Apollo last week. They're not holding back. They're giving him a good
because they know that's what he's gonna want. Yeah. He wants to showcase that he's still got it coming up to his farewell match. But yeah, so nice back and forth. Obviously pulling each other's moves on each other. We did see Kurt get locked into the angle lock, which does happen to the poor guy a lot. But he does end up winning with that move. He does get Gable to tap, which we cut to Baron Corbin out the back. He's getting interviewed, and he's like, I can't wait to embarrass Kurt, and I've been embarrassing him for this long. I can't wait to do it on the grandest stage of them all and all that shit, and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, in the background, all you can hear is, "We want Cena." We want Cena, which we all do. So yeah, after that, Boston Hug Connection come out, and while they're just hanging in the ring, there's a little promo to
when look at my notes, I've
got the notes. Yeah, so they cut to a little promo where the Revival and Baron Corbin are chatting away, and Apollo Crews comes up and he's like, "I'm sick of your shit, Baron. You and me tonight. What do you say? I'm gonna shut you up before Mania, so Kurt can shut you up again."
It's just the idea of look, mate, no one fucking likes you.
Yeah. But no, so Baron Corbin's speaking. He's trying to say something. He's like, "Yes or no?" And Baron's like, and yes or no. Yes or no? And he's like, "Come on, man, yes or no?" And Baron's like, yes, all right, yes. He's like, "Cool. You see, it's that easy, dude. That's why nobody likes you." Yeah. And he's like, "What do you mean nobody likes me? You guys like me, right?" To the Revival, and they're like, "Hell no." Yeah. They walk away, and Apollo's just like, see,
part Corbin's of me, it's this weird moment. Part of me went, "Oh."
Yeah. I loved it. It was so good. The Rival just straight up, no hesitation, like, "Hell no." Laughed and walked away. So good. But then, back to the Boston Hug Connection. They're talking, they decide to have a bit of chit about their titles and how they'll take them anywhere and they'll fight anyone. And obviously, they're having an interview and they talk about the IIconics calling them out. And they're like, "You know what? We're going to make a special appearance tomorrow night on SmackDown." They call, we answer.
Which makes sense, so if they have obviously made the appearance at Raw, that's where they live. Yes. A couple of weeks ago, they did make their way to NXT. They didn't take on anyone at NXT, but they're just sort of going there, making their presence known, knowing
that they're going to go everywhere.
Yeah, knowing that the belt is open to all brands, which is going to be really, really cool, and I do like where that's going. Personally, that still hopefully leads to me a four corner tag team match.
Yeah.
Champions versus Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT.
Yeah.
A tag team from each.
And I was discussing this as well. And we have Dan has some.
Your partner?
Yeah, my partner Dan. Dan has some theories about it all, obviously,
Beautiful.
and he did say, the champions versus SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT, and who it might be. For instance, the Sky Pirates, which is
that was my pick for NXT as well.
Kairi Sane and Io Shirai.
Yep.
And I think
Sky Pirates doesn't like a sex move, but apart from that,
I can't remember who was saying.
My theory is the one I had the most difficulty with was Raw.
Yeah.
But only because of the actions of this episode. So
Yes.
we'll get to that in just a moment.
just a second, yeah. So they're talking about that, and then out comes Natalya and Beth Phoenix.
I think I'm just gonna put it out there. I know it's weird to talk about women's weight. I think she's lost weight.
Beth or Natalya?
Natalya.
I think she has too.
Yeah, because I remember
looking
her looking a little bit bigger at TLC.
Yeah.
And she came out, and I was like, "Damn, you're looking good."
Yeah, she's looking good.
Natalya, looking babe.
She's looking happy. But yeah, obviously the actions of Nia and Tamina have really pissed Beth off, like proper. And she said it in commentary the other week. Like, she's just like, this is super immature of them, and they're really pushing this division backwards. We're fighting for so much, and Sasha and Bayley have brought this division so much more further forward with those titles, and the actions of Nia and Tamina is really just pulling us back and making us look Neanderthalish again. And she does say that to Sasha and Bayley, and she's like, it's awoken a dragon in me. Like, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. I want to come out of retirement and I want to verse you. Me and Natalya versus Sasha and Bayley at WrestleMania. And then Bayley's a bit of a mouthpiece. She's like, are you sure?
You're old as fuck.
Yeah, WrestleMania might be a bit soon considering you're coming out of retirement. 20 days. Like, do you think you're gonna need some more? And she's like, you
like
fucking
Voltaren
what?
and shit?
yeah.
Yeah.
She's just like, you fucking what? And Natty's like, it's Beth freaking Phoenix. It's the Glamazon. Like,
Yeah, but she's still old as shit.
Yeah.
Like, Bayley and Sasha are spot the fuck on. You 20 days from WrestleMania? Are you
but
fucking kidding me?
have you looked at her though? She's physically like perfect.
She looks amazing.
She's probably been practicing already. Let's be honest.
Week in, week out, Natalya, Sasha, Bayley have consistently been wrestling.
You don't know what she's doing behind the scenes. She could be wrestling old hubby edge out the back or something.
You know what the answer is? She fucking hasn't. Like, I'm sure she's fit as shit, but it just doesn't.
But she's the Glamazon, so it doesn't matter.
Balls on her. Like, I'm
Ryan,
gonna go to Mania.
She's the Glamazon. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's what Natalya said. Natalya's always right, okay?
Yeah, Natalya should be like, are you sure you're alright?
She's fine. She's the Glamazon. Are you sure
She's really
about
cool.
this?
She has been back by 7. Can we wrap this match up?
My ankles hurt. I need to sit down. I've been standing too long.
Gotta miss my stories.
We love you, Beth Phoenix. We do.
Did you meet her once?
I've met her in person. She's actually the sweetest human being.
Yeah.
She's so
She's a lot
lovely.
younger than though.
Yeah. She didn't have to be in bed by 7.
Yeah. She scuffles away.
She's got a little walking frame with the tennis balls. We're tired and delusional, guys. Oh, goodness.
I love that.
But yeah, so Sasha's also a mouthpiece, and Sasha just starts yapping.
As they do.
Yeah, tempers flare, fists get thrown, and then next minute it's Natalya versus Sasha Banks.
Well, because they were the first to hip, so like...
because Natalya threw the first punch at Sasha, I believe.
A bit of hip and shoulder action.
Yeah, yep. So it ends up, big old tempers flare, and then, mid-match is maybe 10 seconds in, and then Nia Jax comes out, and yap. I don't know what she said. She's a big poopy. And then Tamina out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just comes bowling everybody over, and I was like,
because it looks very weird. Because they're like, Nia's music kicks. I'm like, I'd rather have a hernia. Yeah, she comes out.
My hemorrhoid's more comfortable than this.
She comes out by herself. I'm like, what the fuck? Where's Tamina at? This is weird. Like, maybe it's just hinting at something.
Leo.
It's one of those things. You think you hurt your shoulder because it's over there, but surprise, it's back there.
Yeah.
It's just different hurt.
Yeah, and it's like, the whole Leo Rush thing where she just comes in a hoodie and some jeans.
Yeah,
like,
just jumps out of the crowd with one of those masks with a fake mustache and the glasses.
Yeah. ridiculous. Just a big old waste of time and space.
Yeah.
And I was just like, they're probably going to be in a Mania match.
Well, because they're like, well, we're going to see a Mania.
I'm no
That's how Tamina talk.
I'm a big doo-doo.
I'm a butt. I'm going to fight you all the butts. But yeah, that is what I was saying. So with the outcome, well, then the match, did the match end up finishing?
No, it did not, because that was a proper interruption.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because Tamina got in.
Yeah.
So this is the problem that I was having, right? So when I was looking at the predictions, after seeing the IIconics calling out, I'm like, cool, fuck yeah, the IIconics are in there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So you got the Sky Pirates, you got IIconics, and Raw was the one that was the toughest for me, mostly because of Nia, Jack, and Tamina. Saying that though, we've seen that and it's boring, and I hope they don't do that again. Ideally, I would have liked to see Ember Moon in someone, but she's been out injured for a long time. I think since Royal. So the only other tag team, like, because they've had all the other random ass tag teams that they've showcased.
Legends.
Yeah, because part of me still wants Trish and Lita. And I'm like, well, how do they fit? Because they don't fit in a Raw or SmackDown. Or they have a big old fucking Legends match and it's the champions, Trish and Lita, or it's like a 5-man tag team, which is way too many people.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's likely. So it does kind of put a halt in my desire to have Lita and Trish there. Or they separate it and they have Tamina and Nia versus Nalia and Beth. Natalia. I had a legitimate stroke then. But yeah, so that'd be the only way to sort of get away with that. However, that is such a, regardless of the glamazon, that is such a mid-card match that I don't think that is worth WrestleMania. Now, rumor has it there's going to be about 17 matches on the card for WrestleMania.
Damn.
And I hope they don't fill it unless it's a fucking kickoff show, which would be a real shame for Beth Phoenix. But
but at the same time, like Beth was saying, this is something that when I was wrestling we dreamed of, and I'd love to have my opportunity at it. So I'd love to see her have a chance at it, know?
I'm sure she could also dream that she just fucking chew her food properly.
Nah, she's fine.
Dentures are the worst.
Edge just has to cut things up for her. Her kids just wash it up for her before she eats it. She just takes it off of them.
I'm not sure why I'm picking on Beth in particular. Like, I was like, Undertaker's pretty old. We'll hear me out.
The next casket match is him in the casket coming out.
Oh, wait, did I mention that to you? Speaking of Mania,
no.
My theory is we kind of touched on last.
He's gonna come out for a casket match already in the casket. It's gonna be over straight away because he's that old.
They're gonna put him back in.
Yeah.
My theory. I don't know whether I mentioned this last week. I know we had talked about the Demon versus the Phenom.
Yeah.
We mentioned that last week. But if it's a casket match, and that is the retirement match for the Undertaker,
that would be
he
perfect.
finally gets put to rest.
That would be perfect. That's a good way.
That'd be beautiful.
Yep.
We've not seen those novelty matches in a very long time.
In saying that, going back to earlier in the episode,
sorry for not paying attention to how the show was structured.
Yeah, no. With saying that, somebody had a sign on Raw when Finn came out and had something on there about the demon, and Finn was just like pointing at it and smiling.
And if you look at all the advertisement for Mania, you've got all the regulars and the Demon King.
Yeah,
not Finn Balor as the regular; it's the fucking Demon King.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
So WWE is anything but subtle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly it. So after all that kerfuffle, we have another Brandon Mojo Rawley promo with him talking. I
still don't know what that. Like, that can't be leading to a Mania thing because that's so fucking boring. Like,
I don't know what's happening
2 months worth of lead up.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there, but this old mate needs to start talking to other people.
Yeah,
because clearly talking to himself is getting him nowhere.
Sometimes it makes me angry, if anything.
Yeah. But yeah,
is it gonna be him versus the Mirror at WrestleMania? Like, that'd be pretty cool.
That would
and
be
the
fun.
Mirror wins. Mirror fucked up.
Oh goodness! Something comes climbing out of the mirror.
Yeah. Oh, lay it down.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens then.
That would be cool.
That far ahead yet.
So after this, we have Ricochet in singles action against Jinder Mahal with the Singh Brothers. Yeah, I was a bit like, poor Ricochet, he could do better.
Saying that though, I'm like, oh, he's gonna kick Jinder Mahal's ass.
Yeah, exactly it. Look, one thing I can appreciate about Jinder Mahal is old mate's ripped.
Yeah.
Like he is. Yeah, he's
like 80 feet tall.
Yeah, he's 80 feet tall and built like a statue. Like he's got a pretty good physique. I'll give him credit, but he just bores the absolute.
Give him credit. He's the Monday Maharaja.
He's the Monday Maharaja.
So this was a kind of a lackluster match. So they mentioned that Aleister Black is off in the Netherlands or Netherlandy things.
Yes.
So he's often out doing things. So like that's why he's not here. Now these guys had just competed on NXT in the Dusty Road Classic.
Yes.
Did they win though? think they won.
I think so.
I think they
Yes,
won.
because there was. I did watch this because there was the whole dealie with
Jumping Gargano.
Yeah. That's it. That's what I was looking
so
for.
they've just won the Dusty Rhodes Classic
As a tag team,
tag team. So they'll be taking on the what are they called? The Warriors? No, give it to me. The dudes, the War Raiders.
Raiders, yeah.
Which were brilliant in the last takeover.
Yeah.
So they're understandable. They're doing that. So credit to Ricochet for them coming because they are straight up doing three shows.
Yep, they're doing 3 shows a week. They're killing it.
Brilliant.
Absolutely killing it. But yeah, that was it was a bit of a meh. Obviously, seeing brothers interfere, and I'm just like meh. And I was a bit meh, but I do like watching Ricochet. Like, don't get me wrong.
Cool. As always, it did end with a 6:30 onto the enemy and then getting the win. So
exactly it.
One thing I did notice they keep mentioning, and it's certainly a good thing to mention. I'm talking to the commentary team here, is they consistently mention that Jinder Mahal is an ex-WWE champion, which he was. So they're sort of laying down this idea that Ricochet has just beaten a champion.
Yeah.
So previously, everyone he's taken on has been tag teams, and a lot of those guys haven't been champions. You know what I mean? So apart from did they take on the Bar at some point? Because obviously I think
they
Sheamus
did,
was.
yeah.
But even then, they've not highlighted that because it's been so long. Like Jinder is within the last 2 years.
So yeah, it definitely looks like they're pushing Ricochet.
Not even that. I think they just bring it to your attention and say, "Hey, keep an eye on this guy. He's taking out champions."
He's doing pretty good. But yeah, I was a bit like meh. And then after this, earlier in the night, we do see Ronda Rousey getting escorted in by her partner. Her husband, who is also an MMA fighter, Travis something. Yeah. And
Travis Mann.
Yeah. They do get approached by an official with security, and they're just like, look, you did get fined an undisclosed amount for attacking officials last week. We've been ordered to give extra security. And she's like, oh, whatever. And just storms off with her hubby.
And she punched him.
Because she's got a bad attitude. Anyway, she is in a match tonight after all the kerfuffle last week with Dana Brooke. They have an official match this week. So that lasts about 15 seconds.
If lucky.
If that.
It was brilliant. Like, I'm Dana. I love how Charlie's like, hey, Ronda Rousey is fucking strong. She's ex-MMA. She's brilliant. She kicks all the butt. And you're, It's like, I'm Dana Brooke. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
No, Damon.
Yeah, Dana. And then she come out and then got mushed in like 4 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm talking
tapped out in seconds.
I'm thinking single seconds here. I think you're very generous with 15. I'm saying 10 tops.
Yeah.
I'm talking 9 tops. Like, single seconds here. Straight on armbar, done. Out there.
Look, I'll give her, I love her pose when Dana Brooke comes out and she does the whole, she got some muscle. She well defined.
Yeah, she jacked the fuck out of those arms. But
she jacked. But yeah, then she had her arm ripped off by Ronda Rousey because she didn't want to let go of the armbar. And again, obviously, officials come out. Ronda gives one a bit of a shove, jumps out the ring, goes to give her boyfriend the old big old smoochy poo.
Is it a husband or a boyfriend?
Husband. Gives her husband a big old smoochy poo, and they're having a little chat. And officials like, Ronda, we gotta go. She's like, don't you touch me, and she clocks another official. And then another
referee tries to grab.
Yeah, they're grabbing at her, and her husband just elbows an official, and then just yanks her over the barrier, and they storm off out the back. And I was like, just the way you picked her up, like she was weightless. He's just like, yoink.
I assumed he was an MMA dude, but I was like, is he an MMA dude?
Yeah, he's an MMA dude.
He's an MMA dude.
Yeah. I googled it. But yeah, I could hear the sound effects in my head.
Wait, so is your term for Googling, you Googled?
I Googled it.
Are you Googleized it?
I Googleized it.
You know, from like Zoolander when you
Googleized it.
Yeah.
I Googleized it, yeah. But yeah, I could just, the way he picked her up so quickly, like in my head, all I heard was, whoop. Like, and just like they heard the little bloop. It was like something out of a cartoon, but yeah, I just heard him pick her up. And then, they storm out because I'm Ronda Rousey and I'm better than everybody and he's my husband and he's really tall.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah. But yeah. One thing I do need to mention is Dana has a fucking huge mouth. Have you noticed that? She's just got a big old Dana. Yeah, she's got a big old...
Look, as a dude with big old lips, I notice these things. I'm like, something's wrong with your face, lady. And then I turn and I'm like, oh, something's wrong with your face, man.
Yeah. So next we have a match with Mr. Baron Corbin versus Mr. Apollo Crews.
Yeah, I checked out this one hard.
I don't mind it just because I like watching Apollo Crews wrestle. Man can't talk very well, but he can throw some moves. He can throw some punches. He can do some flippy things for his size too. Like him doing flippy things is fun to watch. But he does. He bests Baron Corbin with a little roll up, and he gets the win. And obviously he just jacks it out there because he's like, God knows who's going to show up and belt me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, Baron Corbin's like, huh? What? And he's just like, I shut you up and Kurt Angle's gonna too. But yeah, so checked out of that. And then we have commentary interviewing Mr. Dave Bautista from his office in wherever the hell he lives. I didn't write that one.
It was in Tampa Bay, Florida.
That's it, Tampa.
Allegedly. It looked like the back of the stadium.
Yeah, it looks like out of that. But I really checked out because at the moment, like, Batista just doesn't engage me because when he speaks, he just...
I disagree. Like,
it's incoherent.
He looked really bland. I'm like, this is going to be lame.
Flea man.
I'll pay vague attention. And they're like, Batista, why'd you call out Triple H? He's like, I don't like him. I was like, I literally went, what?
Don't like him.
Like, normally there's an elaborate story. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fucking good reason.
Yeah, he goes to mention, obviously, like, he made my life hell while I was there, and obviously getting out of WWE was the best thing I ever did for myself.
He talked about while he was there, when he was part of Evolution or prior, he was the muscle. He was manipulated. Evolution. He was absorbed. He was taking control of by Triple H, as he even noted him being the cerebral assassin.
Yes.
Being the man to come and pull the strings and take away all this stuff. He mentions that it's bizarre that Vince hasn't come in and fired him and ended his professional career. Because at Mania, he'll end his wrestling career. Yeah. And, like, don't get me wrong, I am super fucking keen to see Batista. But, like, compared to last week where he's like, give me what I want.
It was a bit more composed this week.
He's a bit more composed.
Until he's like, get out of my office.
But it was still kind of boring. And, like, Triple H is the one that we're wanting.
Triple H is still in the game. Like, he knows
he is the game.
I was just about to say that. Yes. He is the game. He knows it all too well. He's been, like, obviously, Batista talks about Triple H getting fired. He probably got fired a bajillion times in his early career because Vince just didn't like him.
You remember how punished Triple H has been.
Yeah, by Vince McMahon. And, like, obviously Triple H has worked his way up to be where he is today. And not through marrying, like, Stephanie McMahon. Like, he's genuinely worked. It definitely probably didn't. Vince probably hated him for it. Let's be honest. And there was a lot of drama between Stephanie and Vince there as well. They've had matches against each other, daddy versus daughter matches and shit like that, with weapons and stuff like that. It was brutal.
So I'm hyped for I'm hyped for this match for Mania on Celebrity alone.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm like, oh, Triple H, oh, Batista. Saying that, like...
Well, I keep saying it. When you look at him, it's Kratos versus Drax. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's every, like, movie universe's kid's dream.
No,
like,
I don't have a solid prediction for this.
Neither.
Although, in my loins, all today, I have just been... whatever I did all day, I've been going, bow down to the king. Which means part of me is telling me it's Triple H. That's something.
I'd love to.
I'm gonna take that moment of freaking hippiness and be like, your body's telling you something, man, and my body's telling me Triple H.
My mind's telling me no, but my body
is telling me Triple H.
Telling me Triple H. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm really interested to see it because I think it could go one of either ways. Obviously, it could end Triple H's in-ring career. That's what he keeps specifying, in-ring career. So I reckon this could be Triple H taking a step back and purely focusing COO duties.
Speculation time.
Specky me.
This is Batista's farewell match, is it not?
That's what I was thinking. I was about to say that. It could also be Batista's way out.
Well, Batista has confirmed this is his last match.
Yes.
But what a way to have both of them step away.
Yeah.
By having Batista win.
Yeah.
I mean, because if it is ends his career, he can step away. He can continue being COO, work with NXT.
Exactly.
Honestly, get ready to take over Vinnie Mac. Because Vinnie Mac's XFL at the end of this year. He's looking to slip away, go to XFL, push old Hunter.
Yeah, up into that position.
Take that role.
Definitely think he's coached for it. But yeah, so many.
Obviously, I don't want him to lose because I think Triple H should go out on a better way.
Well, yeah, he is more involved.
Saying that though doesn't mean he can't come back.
Exactly it. So then we get a little interview with Braun Strowman about how he reacted with that little car present last week and tearing it apart and stuff like that. And he's like, I don't want their apologies. I want to beat the living crap out of them. And this is where he says he's going to enter the We said it just before.
Oh.
You all right there?
I'm trying to remember. My brain just stopped again.
Ah, man.
Under the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yep. That one. So he's going to be entering that, and he's going to break some people, and he'll break the Saturday Night guys. And Alexa Bliss pops up, and she's like, no. As the host of WrestleMania, it's my duty to make sure this goes off without a hitch. Like, I'm going to fix this. Don't worry about it. And Braun's like, I don't want to fix it. I want to smash. They're going to get these.
Braun mad.
Braun smash, rah. But yeah, he's like, they're going to get these hands right around. Alexa's like, no, please. Give me a week. I'll make it right. And he's like, fine, lady. You have week.
You have week. Fix Braun.
Yeah. Or Raw.
This has been a very interesting episode of Young and the Wrestlers.
Yeah.
I like
Yes. But yeah, so that was a bit interesting. But yeah, Alexa's got a week to, so we will find out next week if she
kills them.
Yeah.
Cuts
they're
to her
just
just
not gonna-
shanking two dudes in the back.
But that's it. So, yeah, Drew McIntyre comes out for his match against Seth Rollins. Cuts to a break, and for some reason, they re-announced Drew McIntyre, which I thought was a bit weird. Yeah, so he comes out, and then cuts to a break, and it comes back, and they're like, Drew McIntyre! And I was like, again?
It's two of them.
But then he
Drew
goes...
McIntyre.
Yeah, and then he goes... And I was like, oh, he's got a microphone, he's speaking. That's why they've re-announced him. I see. So he has a bit of, I beat the Shield, like, I beat... What?
What a waste of a pun.
What did I miss?
It's like, I called him to McIntyre.
Oh, Drew McIntyre. But I'm tish.
Thank you very much. It's not so funny now. It's not funny when you repeat it.
But you did it twice. Hey! Deliberate.
Have her back.
Deliberate. But yeah, so he's like, meh. I beat Roman Reigns. I beat Dean Ambrose.
I beat all of them. I beat the people.
I beat the Shield. Yeah. I saw the people and I beat the people. And now I am the people.
I'm the people's people.
I'm the people. But yeah, so he's like, you know,
I think he calls out Roman. He's like, I want Roman at Mania.
Yeah, he goes to say like Seth's a coward and this other stuff, and I was like, says the guy that like for attacking him with a chair, and I was like, said the guy that's been attacking people with chairs and shit for like the past forever.
Yeah, as long as I can remember.
Anyway, says he, pot calling the kettle black. Anyway, and then yeah, he's like, I'm not talking to Roman Reigns, I'm talking to Joe. I want Joe at WrestleMania. So he gets a bit...
he's doing the old trips.
Breaking the old fourth wall there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wants...
and the worst thing is because like Roman can't be like, well, I want Drew. Fuck. His name's Drew.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's no pretending that he's Drew.
Yeah. But yeah, so he does the whole like, I want Joe, aka Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and...
He's saying this is good. This is what I want.
Yeah.
Like this is exactly the match that I want at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I want to
only because I think they're both huge dudes. Be a great power match.
It'll be a really good proper comeback match for Roman Reigns, because obviously we haven't seen him wrestle yet because he's been...
Well, he has, but not
at his full potential. Yeah, not at his full potential. So there's definitely something that could be going on there. Obviously, he did possibly cop a bit of a concussion last week, thanks to Drew.
Because if we go back to some of our early episodes this year, prior to the Royal Rumble, like my bets going into were like Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. They're the two that are going to be going for the UC champ.
Yeah.
So whoever wins, like I said, for me it was neck and neck, and Seth got the win. So, you know, once again, predictions. Seth Rollins will take the belt from Brock Lesnar. Then we'll have Seth versus Drew McIntyre SummerSlam.
Yeah.
UC champ.
Interesting. And then I reckon, it'll eventually sort of end up in Roman Reigns as his hands.
And then potentially, but then it might go to Drew and then might go to Roman. So this is all like down the line thinking. Yeah. But because you know, Roman said himself, he's like, I want it. Not right now. We'll see how we go. But for like with that reason, I'm very happy to see that match. I think it would just be a good. Although that combo has been seen in the past, not in a singles match to that extent. I don't believe. Let me know comments if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
But.
And maybe before my time, our time.
Yeah, maybe before. Like I'm happy as fuck to see that. I think that's
I'm definitely interested to see it, especially because he got so personal with it.
Well, and I guess when like 20 minutes ago, it was like Kurt Angle bearing, ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it could just be comparatively. Like if it was like, you know, Drew McIntyre versus fucking Dolph Ziggler again, I'd be like, oh man.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying that, where the fuck's Dolph Ziggler at?
Yeah, I'd love to see our old mate at heel Ziggler.
Yeah.
And in the wrestlings again.
He's not at heel Ziggler anymore, is it? Is that his real name?
Oh, I had no idea. I've only ever seen him as at heel Ziggler. So love good old Dolphy. Anyway, so obviously Seth Rollins comes out. They start their match. As always, Seth's the smaller guy. He gets his ass beat for the most time. It was another bit. I was a bit like, oh, we've seen all this before. Except I did start getting a bit pissy because Drew McIntyre pulls hair like a girl. Like he's constantly yanking at the hairs. It's like, mate, nobody's pulling your hair. Stop yanking at poor Seth. It's like,
this is another thing.
Bitch.
Dylan, my housemate, we both live with me for a minute.
Dillman.
He's watching this, and then whenever they do a shot that's like waist up, they look identical.
Yeah.
Like unless you know who they are, he's like,
Who's
fuck's
who?
going on?
Yeah.
I'm like, the slightly browner one is Drew McIntyre, I think.
The little bit taller one.
Because
with
they're all in
more
this,
facial
they're in
hair.
this weird huddle, but Seth has facial hair as well.
Oh, he does too.
So they're in this weird huddle, and I'm like, I'm not sure.
It's kind of a bit more tan.
Like, I'm not quite sure. I think he's
Seth's a bit whiter.
Yeah, a little bit. And then it zooms out, I'm like, Seth's wearing pants.
Yeah. But yeah, so match obviously spills outside the ring. Drew goes to get a chair. Seth just boots his fucking head off with it. I was like, whoa, I felt that in my head. My jaw was hurting after that kick.
Should be DQ.
Yeah. Should have been. Was not. Anyway, after this, they end up back in the ring. And, of course, Bennett. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman walk out, which distracts Seth Rollins long enough for Drew McIntyre to
Look,
get the
once
kick.
again, as I said, 15 fucking years. There is no way he's just going to break at 15 years. Like, he's on a streak right now. He broke the Undertaker's streak. He's having his own fucking streak over here.
Exactly it.
0 and 15.
So, yeah, he just comes out with his big old grin, and then Seth's like, come on, and then cops a Claymore kick, and Drew McIntyre wins, and then that's that. End of scene.
And
so
fade to black.
Yeah, and then, fade to black.
That's in the episode. Said it raw. What'd you think?
I would probably give it maybe... Honestly, I checked out for the most part, so unfortunately for me, it's only about a half a curt.
See, the problem for me is I watched it in like 2 sittings. Oh, actually, like 3
I watched it all last
I watched like
night,
3
so.
sittings. So like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. So for that reason, it's kind of all disjointed for me, and I only remember the highlights. So I'm like, hey! Maybe that's not 2 thumbs. I'm like, hey! I'm going to give it a 1. You're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Only because like the front and the end were really cool. A couple little moments in the middle, they were alright. 2 key matches were kind of... overall, it's fun.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought of this week's episode of Monday Night RAW. In those comments below. Discord channel, Facebook group. All links in the description below. Let's head into SmackDown. I need a new book. This one's getting full real fast.
Feel.
Pardon me. This week's episode of SmackDown Live took place in Indianapolis, Indiana. It kicks off with The Miz. He comes in to discuss the actions of Shane McMahon. Now, they said that it had been confirmed that Shane versus Miz was to happen at WrestleMania. However, I'm pretty sure that was confirmed last week. So I'm not quite sure what they
I think
said
it was.
again.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, match I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I thought that it may have happened when they first sort of had them as a team
Yeah.
a couple of months ago. But then as they were getting better and doing well together, I'm like, maybe they'll become a staple. Nope.
Yeah.
We're wrong.
2 losses in and they broke up.
That's correct. So it kicked off with him showcasing a bunch of the footage in terms of the footage from Fastlane and his spiel last week. The Miz discuss how it's taken him 10 years to get sort of his singles match at WrestleMania, but it's that situation of at what cost? Like he has jeopardized his friends. His friends, relationships, anything apart from his wife and daughter have been sacrificed. He's mentioned that he's taken advantage of others and sort of pushed his way, stolen opportunities, taken opportunities every step he could. And one of those opportunities being Shane McMahon and manipulating him to join the tag team, which began as him doing a venture to get what he needed, which was the acceptance of his father and whatnot. But as they were doing it, he just got he genuinely had a friendship grow with Shane, with the idea of with Shane arranging Mr. Miz to come into the ring, have that spiel, get what Miz was working for out of him. Sounds bad when I put it like that, but so this these things that Shane did that exceeded what his original plans were. So it created this friendship, right?
Yes.
So they talk about the idea that the idea that like Shane claims that he was the best in the world, but no, in fact, he's a McMahon. He's the worst in the world. And just because he and his dad own the WWE does not mean he owns The Miz.
Exactly.
So that's pretty much what it was. That was pretty much a big old spiel. There was the crowd were really into it. It was brilliantly delivered.
The Miz is phenomenal on the microphone. The man has a really great presence. He can talk. And he also shows that he is quite smart in that sense. He's really good at, I guess, coercing people and working them in his favor. So even though he was, in a sense, manipulating to get what he wanted, he still, found a genuine connection in that. But ultimately, it was all just a ploy to get what he needed.
So we're getting a lot of Miz chants, a lot of, Miz. Also getting You Deserve It.
Yeah.
Especially after talking about 13 years in the biz.
Yes.
This is where he's at, and he's finally got to it.
Yeah, and I was recently watching, they do like the WWE photo shoot, and I was watching the photo shoot with Miz, and it goes through from his early career to where he got to when he won, one of the biggest titles and all that sort of stuff.
He hasn't had like a champ, like a UC or a WWE championship, but he did have a good solid run as Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, and he was all like, to Vince McMahon, he was like, I'm going to do you proud, you're not going to regret this, and all that sort of stuff. And to see it all sort of turned on its ass, and him sort of stagnate for a little while, I'm really excited for this sort of kick up. I'm really excited to see him, I guess, like Captain SmackDown in a sense, because he really is that personality that they need.
Like The Miz is doing some great stuff right now, and he is kind of the one I'm backing coming into Mania.
Yeah, I definitely am as well.
I like what he does.
Yeah, while I can see and understand where Shane's coming from, being sick of people manipulating and using him exactly the way The Miz has, he could have gone about it a whole different way, and I definitely.
It's the same thing that Daniel Bryan's doing, which is the idea of what you're saying. Like what you're saying is incredibly relatable, and you're right.
Yes,
and you are right, and that's makes like any good villain has you look into their plans, you're like, you're kind of valid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like Loki is an example, exceptional villain for that reason.
Exactly.
Next we get the Sasha Banks and Bayley versus the IIconics. Now this was not a championship match. This was just a plain old tag team match. It did kick off with the IIconics. So Bayley and Sasha are in the ring. They had no promos. They were just there. The IIconics come out, mics in hand. I'm like, oh shit, let's go for this. And it's like, kind of goes quiet. Here's, what are you doing there? I'm like, it hurts. It hurts.
It hurts so good because I love those little bogans.
Yeah, and I had my it was a grin, and I couldn't lose that grin.
Oh, I love those little bogans.
I had a.
You've got to be joking me.
Friends of mine in America, Chad Smith from the podcast Two Fat Dudes, he made a comment about, he was just talking to his partner at the time, and she said, aren't they like Team Rocket? Like they kind of come in, talk some shit, just get straight up mushed, and then leave. Like, and they come back every week, talk smack, don't really prove it, mushed again.
Call them Team Pocket Rocket.
Hey! And then I commented saying, like, as we say here, 3 glass duct tape together.
Yeah.
And they were tagged in that tweet too, so hopefully they see it.
Yeah. Love it.
But that was great. So before even things really got underway, there wasn't the strongest match, but it was good. Like they really kind of put a lot more into it than I'm used to seeing the IIconics anyway. Lacey Evans comes in, does her walk down, turn around, and then they just literally look at her and go, all right, and then keep wrestling.
Good. She doesn't deserve notoriety.
Yeah, so it looks like they've sort of done a slight rebrand.
Interesting that she wasn't on Raw.
Thank Christ. So then, it looks like they've done like a mild rebrand of Lacey Evans. So they've changed some of her logos, and they've sort of really pushed the sassy Southern Belle, which is this beauty. I think it's just some beauty. I think what they're going for now. So they've changed up where they're going, and by having her not appear on Raw this week but appear on SmackDown, it really puts in, it kind of lays down my speculation that with Becky and Ronda over on Raw, or Becky and Charlotte on Raw with Asuka and Lacey.
That could be interesting.
Or vice versa. Or, well, actually, no, I take that back. My original plan was I thought that Lacey would stick on Raw with Becky and Lacey, but I kind of like the idea of Becky Charlotte better, and then having Oscar and Lacey over on SmackDown.
That could be definitely
You do have the
interesting.
shakedown post WrestleMania, so it'll be interesting where to see where they go.
Yeah.
And by having her be on SmackDown exclusively this week, it could certainly head to that.
Yeah, it definitely gives some hints.
So after a bit of a tussle, bit of wrestling, the win, because you hadn't seen this part.
I haven't seen this yet.
The win went to the IIconics.
Oi!
Yay!
Go, you good things!
So essentially what happened, Peyton had Bailey in a bit of a roll-up. She tried to get the pop-up. Billie Kay had Sasha by the arms preventing her to get that get the
To break it
shoulders up.
Yeah.
Bam, 1, 2, 3. They win.
Yes! I love that they did a
I'm
little
pretty
dirty.
confident that if there is either a four-corner tag match, or there is multiple people in this tag match, the IIconics will be there.
in it.
They may not
definitely.
win.
But they'll be in
They'll
it.
be there.
Well,
And my
clearly
little
they
Australian heart will be very proud.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, go you good things. Give them a fair shake of the sauce bottle. I'm gonna say everything bogan as shit to them. Love them. I was watching the Fastlane watch through, like the you could watch the others watching it, and right at the start of it, the IIconics just have massive bags of chips, and they just come walking in, pull up some chairs up the back, and sit for everybody. They're like, "What's going on?" They're just throwing popcorn at people and shit. It's great. I love them. I love them.
You know, it was great. So there was Billy was on the ropes. She was out, like, on the apron, I should say. Sorry. And then Sasha looked over at Billy, and Billy's like, Billy's like, "Hey, don't you fight!" And it's like, she's like, "Oi, don't you look at me!" What the fuck is this?
I love it. They're playing the Aussie stick so well. Because Yanks love the Aussie accent. They love how stupid and cheesy it is. And, you know, we look at Americans and go, "Ha ha, Yanks are funny." They do the same about us. They're like, "Oi, you bloody Australians. Ha, Simpsons, Australia, America, knifey, spoony, like $5 dues." They think that's what we're all about. So I love that they're playing to that shit.
But I love it. It's just what are you looking at? And I was like, oh.
Love it.
Brent. Next, we cut to Rey Mysterio with his son talking.
Dominic, holy crap.
Yep.
Okay, so when...
You arrived at my house at this point. So
yes. So when I was a kid, Dominic was a kid. And we had this whole, like, may he rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. We had this whole custody battle because apparently Dominic belonged to Eddie and Ray and them had...
It was a ladder match with custody papers in it.
Yeah, it was like a Money in the Bank custody papers match. And yeah, there's this whole shtick where Eddie Guerrero had "I'm Your Puppy" t-shirts. This was very shortly before we lost him. Yeah, so Dominic was like literally like this big. He was like,
oh baby.
Yeah, he was under his teens. And then next minute, like he's tall, like he went from being like this big compared to Rey Mysterio to being this kid.
He's got like a good foot.
Yeah, he's like 10 times the size of his father. And I was just like, oh damn, Dominic, you grew up. Like I saw you yesterday. You're like 100 foot tall now. What the hell happened? Like wild.
Yeah.
So wild. It was so exciting to see him though.
So Rey Mysterio here announces that his match, his first singles one-on-one match at Mania in 8 years, against Samoa Joe for the US title.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he did also...
I'm pretty sure, is the US the only one Ray hasn't held?
I think so. Maybe.
I think it is.
Maybe. Saying that though, they did they made pointed out that his son will be ringside, will be there ready to go, and my brain was like, that's really sweet.
I'm your puppy.
And then, bing, like, oh man, we just saw what happened when The Miz had his family ringside. He got his ass whooped. What we're going to see is Samoa Joe fucking coquina clutch Rey Mysterio right in front of his kid.
Watch Daddy go night-night.
Yeah. Ooh, sleep. More like sleep, Mysterio. I got nothing.
Yeah.
No.
Rey Mysleepio.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Hey.
And like, you know, although ideally, giving Rey that belt, beautiful.
Yeah,
but,
that would be, especially at Mania, that would be awesome to see.
History.
But it is Joe's first title.
History has shown that when that, it seems like it's a bad luck.
Yeah. But in saying that as well, this is Joe's first title in the WWE, so I reckon he's going to be hanging on for damn dear life. And we are seeing, obviously later in the show, we did see it last week as well, Joe struggles with losing, so he is becoming a bit unhinged when he loses.
So even if Ray wins the belt, he's getting his ass kicked.
Even if Ray does win, he's going to get brutalized.
And then we can see his son come in and that's it.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. I do believe that Dominic is wrestling as well.
Because they pointed out that he is wrestling as well.
They did?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't see that.
He's learning like his daddy.
Yeah, so I do have a feeling that maybe this could be Dominic's in-ring debut.
Oh!
It could be Dominic showing
because the Rey Mysterio is like second generation in there.
Yeah. So I think Dominic would be third gen.
Yeah, very cool.
So I'd love to see Dominic in the ring. That would be awesome.
Next up, we get Kevin Owens making his way in with a suit jacket, t-shirt, and tie.
The KO show,
which is very interesting because we haven't seen Miz TV in a while. So maybe KO will be the new thing. I know KO show's been around for a while, but I'm just saying that compared to Miz.
Well, I haven't seen KO show yet.
Yeah.
I did discover that KO sounds a little bit like Christopher
Walken. Like his delivery here was really weird. It was that we had walk and freeze and stop and odd announcing and enunciation.
My guest today
is the man.
Becky Lynch.
Insert bad walking impressions.
Yeah.
So it was a discussion between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. So they've come out one by one. Becky come in first, Charlotte come in second. Sit down at either end of this table. Kevin comes out to sort of talk about, he's like, this is the things that people have said. Ronda has said these things about you.
I'm not going to say that. That's too bad.
About you, Becky. Becky, you've said the following things about Ronda. This is where it is. Now, as you know, I'm Kevin Owens. What am I saying? Fight anyone. Fight anywhere. So, give me a minute. Gets out of the ring. Goes, fight!
Yeah.
So he instigates
Becky, fight. Charlotte, fight. And then Charlotte's all like, I will beat you down anywhere, anytime. And Becky's like, pow!
Yeah, it's like, so Becky didn't even retaliate with in terms of vocally. No verbal punches. It was just boosh. I think she may have thrown the mic at her.
Yeah. Threw something. A punch, a microphone, whatever it was.
There was a punch, there was a throw, something. Scuffle, over the table. Scuffle.
Yep, scuffle. It spills out of the rings. Officials come running out. Girls. They're pushing officials.
Yeah, refs get a slap. Refs get a schmacking by both of them. I think Becky throws a ref into the barrier.
Yep.
Charlotte straight up whips a ref in the face. There's more undisclosed fines going everywhere.
I was saying,
ching.
We reckon they're both going to be fined, just like Ronda was for an undisclosed amount.
And then whoever wins loses the fines.
Yep. Exactly. Whoever wins has to pay the other ones.
Yeah. No, whoever loses has to pay the fine. Whoever wins.
That's it. Yeah, but I was saying, like, obviously their hair everywhere because they've both got quite long hair, and I was just like, man, it looks like chili sauce on ramen noodles.
Yeah, ramen noodles with spice.
Yeah, just look like spicy noodles all over the place.
So as they're sort of scuffling, being pulled apart, they get taken. Taken
KO does
a
runner.
Yeah, KO's fucking gone at this point. He's nowhere near anything.
I have to leave. Good night, Moon.
We get next. We get a promo from AJ Styles, sort of rebutting to some of the things that Randy Orton said last week, in talking about the idea that the house that Randy Orton built, not the house that AJ Styles built. He talked about how Randy has the third generation. Like if anything, he makes all these claims of how he's worthy. If anything, it's showing these advantages that Randy has had comparatively, where
he was born into this industry instead of having to work his way into it.
Granted, he still had to work, but it was that like you were given, you were assisted, you were helped.
Yes.
In the same way that Charlotte Flair was. Yes, Randy was the youngest ever
World Heavyweight
Championship. Part of that because you've been in the biz for so long at that point, right? Like you're the youngest because you were in there in your early teens.
Yeah.
Compared to AJ Styles, who had to come up the Indies, go to Japan, do all this, do Impact, then make his way across to WWE.
Yeah, Randy came in as part of Evolution. He was being coddled by Triple H, Batista, and Ric Flair. Like he literally
the biggest
had
names in the biz
the best at the time, helping him get to where he was. So yeah, it's definitely AJ makes very valid points there again. It is points that he has made, but they are very valid points, so I don't mind him repeating them.
Yeah, so it's more about it's sort of replying to some of the stuff that Randy said, also in laying down the Randy versus AJ at WrestleMania. As I said, they're announcing a lot of singles matches at the moment, so I think we'll probably see some more multi-people matches in probably the next week or so.
Definitely.
Which is fine. It's just because there's always what you find with Mania is they tend to put as many people in there as possible.
Yes.
Because obviously everyone
It's the
gets,
grandest stage of them all. Everybody
everyone
wants
gets
their
that shot. Everyone gets a bump.
Yeah.
So you'll find. Oh, I just booted your foot.
That's
Sorry.
okay, sorry.
You'll find everyone will either be in the battle royal or they'll the Moolah one, which is but like it'll be sort of they'll be there in some capacity, right?
Yeah. Can I just say, according to obviously talk of this is the house AJ Styles built, this is the house Randy Orton built. According to Groove Armada, this is the house that Funk built. So take that, Randy and AJ. You ain't got no shit on Grandma and Groove Armada. I see
Very
you, baby.
specific reference.
Sorry.
No, it's no. I like
I
it
just
'cause
had to. I just had to.
No one's
It's been in my head forever.
No one's thought about that song for Groove Armada since like 2001.
Yeah, I listened to it on a Spotify playlist yesterday. I was like, I see you, baby.
Shaking that ass.
This is the house that Funk built.
Next, we get Daniel Bryan walk out to deliver a promo. He talked about injustice that Kofi was being required to be in this gauntlet match this evening.
Yeah.
Not because he deserved more. It's because he didn't deserve it at all. Very interesting. He talks about the idea, you didn't deserve to be in this. Blah, 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 blah. Next thing, New Day come in. And the New Day do the thing.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the mentioned at the end of last week's episode Gauntlet Match, and this is the list not in order. It is Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe, Rowan, The Bar. That's both of them. That's Sheamus and Cesaro and Randy Orton. So that's on the card.
Yes.
At this time, we didn't know the order. Kick things off was The Bar. Sheamus was your first up, which went well. It was quite a solid fight. Lots of good punch, kick, punch. I believe he got taken out with an SOS.
Yeah.
Was it Cesaro? Cesaro was second.
Yeah, Cesaro was second. I think there was a little roll up and he was holding
Trouble in
shoulders.
Paradise.
Yeah, Trouble in Paradise, holding some shoulders down.
Yeah, and then Cesaro was an SOS. A
Yeah.
brilliant SOS, if I remember right.
Absolutely phenomenal. Yep.
I remember the other way. Someone got an SOS and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Then we get Rowan coming out with a big redwood. He gets a bit of punchy, beat, punch. Throws Kofi out of the ring, whips out a chair, wails Kofi with the chair. Instant
Disqualifies himself.
He disqualifies himself. He is eliminated. Did I just spit in your face a little bit?
No. I'm just, my nose is running.
I do that
Don't mind me.
I've come find that.
No, you're good. I'll tell you if you do.
So he DQs himself out, but rather than being kicked out straight away, the security like, no, man, don't do it, man, and he just beats the piss out of Kofi for a while. Now this is something. Well, actually, no, we'll get to that in a minute.
Just quickly,
yes,
going to you spitting on people. It just reminded me of I don't know if anybody remembers, but Carlito Caribbean Cool, and his whole shtick was he'd bite into an apple and spit it in people's face if they weren't cool. So I feel a little bit like you're getting a bit Carlito on me there. And
I
on
just
me
get really enthusiastic. Cool. My mouth, I get so enthusiastic, my mouth gets dry, and then it kind of tries to lube itself up. I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
And he's like, "You're not cool." Puh.
Yeah, that's part
anyway,
of it. That's part of it. But yeah, so next we get, once Rowan gets DQ'd, in comes Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe gets all punchy, dirty, punchy, which is all well and good. It gets him in the coquina clutch after getting a pin.
Yeah,
a surprise
so Kofi,
pin.
yeah. Kofi gets a surprise little roll up thingy on him as well. I think it's another roll up, wasn't it?
Yeah, either way, Samoa Joe loses, gets eliminated.
He gets unhinged when he loses. He can't handle it. So yeah, he gets Kofi in the ropes and cocaine clutch.
Yeah, and there's some fucking 8 referees come out of nowhere.
Where were they when Rowan was attacking him with a chair?
This is a problem, WWE. You are inconsistent with what defines a DQ, how many refs should be here, how many refs like.
I know. I was saying Rowan's attacking. I was like, where are the officials? And then next minute Samoa Joe pulls that trick, and officials everywhere.
Every week we are sitting here going, that should have been a DQ.
We just watched this consecutively happen. Are you kidding me?
But within 5 minutes, they've broken the rules in terms of what. Well, granted, Joe was eliminated, but it's like what kind of force is required. If anything, fucking Rowan should have had more guys come out there. He's a huge
He's bigger.
unit.
Yeah.
So why
He's
weren't
literally
they
the
there?
size of a redwood tree. Like, come on now.
The concern can't be that they got smushed by Becky and Ronda, because within 5 minutes, Becky and Charlotte, within 5 minutes, and they were there, just out of nowhere. So what the fuck? It is inconsistent, it is stupid, and it is incredibly frustrating.
It's so frustrating. And that's something I did bring up as well. I was like, come on, we literally just watched this happen before and nothing. And now this is okay. Anyway, I had a speculation with this match because obviously...
So finally with Randy Orton.
Yeah. So I had the speculation that Randy Orton wouldn't even make it into the ring because obviously AJ's been talking some smack. They've been back and forth. I was expecting AJ to take him out backstage.
The only issue with this theory, like as much as I like the idea of this furthering what's going to happen at Mania, if Randy can't make it out, that's an elimination DQ to Kofi because it's someone if it's the same thing that happened at Fastlane with Ronda. By Ronda punching Becky gives Becky the win.
No, she was in the ring. I mean, before he even got to the ring. That's
still
what I'm trying to say.
It would still count as elimination though.
Would it? Because they're so inconsistent with it.
That's also true. They could have fucking just flexed the rules for no reason.
Yeah.
But ideally, in terms of the correct rule structure, that would have been an elimination towards Kofi. Kofi would have lost.
But then, I did change my tune and say, like, maybe AJ will come out and give Kofi a phenomenal forearm just for shits and gigs, get Randy DQ'd.
Because, going by...
But then the Raw and DQ threw that all out the window.
Yeah, earlier in the night when they did have the AJ promo, AJ did explicitly say, I wish my buddy Kofi the best.
Exactly.
While this whole gauntlet match is going on, we have the entire roster just watching the screen in the back.
It starts obviously with Big E and Xavier, and then the Usos are there with a plate of pancakes.
Yeah,
and then the Hardys rock up.
Then Heavy Machinery.
And then R-Truth and Carmella, Nikki Cross is there, and it's a big old thing backstage. But I love that the Usos rocked up, just handing out pancakes to Big E and that.
Yeah,
and
you name it, and they're probably there. And it was a good old watch.
Yeah. But yeah, so Kofi ends up was not expecting the winner.
Fuck, he won.
I cried.
You did.
I was not expecting.
I
literally sat there and I welled up. I was like, "Oh my god, he's done it! He's actually fucking done it!"
As you and I were watching this, like we were, because we haven't looked. Like, even though we're watching it a day late, we stay away from as many spoilers as possible for the benefit of the show, right? So we had no idea what was going on. We're watching this. We're enjoying it. Like,
I genuinely cried.
My
emotional
loins
tears.
expected him to lose. I had no.
That's why I cried.
Faith.
I was like,
I have faith in Kofi, not faith in the system, because you can take on fucking 5 people.
Exactly it. With Vince McMahon's track record, I didn't trust it. But,
so what went from from the DDT by Randy Orton to the one on the ropes as he normally does, and then to a roll up 1, 2, 3. Randy is out. Kofi win. And,
yes. I cried. Obviously, Big E and Xavier lifting him up. The crowd screaming.
Like within seconds, they were in that ring. Like seconds.
It was very emotional, and I still feel a little bit teary about it. And then you hear, "No chance. That's what you got." And Vince McMahon obviously comes out. Congratulations, Kofi. Good job. You did great. But
situation. If you are going to WrestleMania, if
you can defeat this one
last opponent, and of course it's fucking Daniel.
And I knew it was because obviously Daniel and Rowan come out talking. Daniel was dressed to wrestle. Mm-hmm. He had no shirt on. He had his little trunky thingies on. He was dressed to wrestle. I even said, oh, so he's got to verse Daniel Bryan and Rowan first. And you were like, no, it's just Rowan. I was like, why is Bryan ready to wrestle? Like, he's in his wrestling kit up. So I knew it was coming a mile away. And I was just like, yeah, awesome. Now he's definitely got no chance because there's no way he's going to beat the champion before he beats the champion. So, damper on the mood.
So it ends. Kofi is not going to WrestleMania as of right now.
Vince can eat my dick.
Yeah, eat all the dick. So this is a big old stinker. What do you reckon of this episode of SmackDown?
I absolutely love this episode of SmackDown until the end of it. Yeah. So I'd probably give it a 1.5 Kurt Angles because that really dampened my mood. But overall, I definitely think...
let me just give a quick switch. Keep going.
I definitely think this week... even though I still haven't seen the start of SmackDown, which I will watch, I do think for me the standout show was SmackDown this week. So definitely 1.5.
Yeah, I'm debating too because at no point was I down. It was good the whole way through.
Yeah.
Like the Gauntlet match was brilliant. Gauntlet match was brilliant. Miz promo was brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed the IIconics. It might not have been the best wrestling match, but for entertainment value, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Seeing the promo from Ray, seeing the promo from AJ. Apart from the outcome being a downer, but the best thing about wrestling is how you feel when you watch it. If you get a response, the show is doing what it's supposed to do. If anything, this episode of SmackDown showed what Raw is missing.
Yeah.
It was a fucking brilliant episode of SmackDown. Like, it may not have been gangbusters, but it was a really good showcase.
It's really strong coming into WrestleMania.
Fucking 2 Kurt Angles right here.
2 whole Kurt Angles. I will reassess once I actually watch it, but I do imagine that missing half will just...
Like, granted, with our system of 2, 1.5, 1 or half or none, like... a 2 is not a perfect episode of SmackDown. It's a fucking good episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
So for me personally, thoroughly enjoyed literally all of it.
Yeah, because our Kurt Angles don't set the bar. They are the bar. Sorry, I had to because you did that.
Yeah, they aren't the thumb. They set the thumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know what you thought of this week's episode of SmackDown Live.
Do tell.
In those comments below on the Facebook or on the Discord. And as we do,
Dish in the dirt with Dirt Sheet Dash.
Or Spartan said a little bit. What we talk about here is the week to week. Is as it happens. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there's things that are happening in the future, things that we may not have eyes on. However, we have a man in the know. We have a man that can tell us things that are happening, things that will happen. His name is Dash. He gives us dirt sheets. This is the section we call Dishing the Dirt with Dirt Sheet Dash.
Still haven't slid into my DMs, Dash.
Fuck, that was a
disappointed.
I had a solidly promoted fucking Dash. Proud of myself.
You better watch this, Dash.
Yeah, you enjoy that, Dash. You take that.
I know we're a few weeks
Sorry,
behind.
I should have really had the list ready to go.
Yeah, we're 3 weeks behind. Like we're a few weeks behind, and Dash probably isn't going to see any of these
Dash
DM
listens.
calls.
He's a regular listener, of course.
He's a regular listener. Well, why aren't you in my DMs? Damn it! I'm not sliding into yours. That's not how this works.
Now, as always, I won't read the headline just because I want to bury the lead.
Of course.
However, he does provide the headline for me as
Dish
I
it,
read
Dash.
Number 1, Dash says, according to his sources, Kurt Angle is scheduled to compete against John Cena at WrestleMania this year as a surprise return. It was Vince McMahon's idea for Kurt Angle to announce that he is taking on Baron Corbin at this Monday's episode of Raw, knowing full well that the announcement would generate heat from the crowd. Only to have the crowd pop for Cena's return at Mania later.
He knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to work him. He's been doing it long enough.
That's true.
There's a reason he was the GM.
And this makes total sense to me. So my little theory here is either it goes 2 ways. Either they find a way to get Baron out of the match before WrestleMania, so they promote it at WrestleMania ahead of the time, saying John Cena's take. With a name like John Cena, I imagine they're going to want to announce it before, right?
Yeah, people want to see the man
because
he's disappeared again.
In terms of the billboard, they have Mania. They have Mania, the logo, John Cena, fucking Kurt Angle. That's a picture right there. It's a picture worth selling. Saying that, I personally would like to see it go another way. We're at Mania. Kurt Angle music comes on. He comes in, 70,000 people. You suck. Everyone fucking cries. So he's in the middle of the ring. He delivers his final little speech and goes, "This is what This is what it's all come to. This is where it is. This is where I'm at. I'd like to thank you all very much for having me in your homes for this time." Blah, 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 blah. All this beautiful delivery that I'll have a fucking I'll have a straight up teary at because I've gained a weak connection with Kurt Angle for some reason. So having this moment and we turn over, we hear Baron Corbin's music. No turns up. Doesn't turn up. Screen goes on. You go out the back. You see Baron Corbin lying on his face,
like a Batista with Ric Flair like thing.
Not even like that. He's just on the ground on his face. You see the cameras pan up the legs of Baron Corbin. You see his back, and resting either on his back or near him is either
Never Give Up.
It's a
little
little towel. It's the hat. It's the cuffs. It's one of those John Cena memorabilias, and you boom, 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 and the music fucking kicks in. He comes out.
Everybody's
the crowd
erupts. Oh yeah.
See, John Cena is because although John Cena isn't like a heel, so he can't do too many dirty, deceiving things. With Baron being the piece of shit that he is, it's perfectly fine for him and his character to get that beat down prior to entrance.
Exactly it. Oh, I'd love to see that. That's very.
When I thought of that this afternoon, I was like, oh.
Yeah,
because that ticks awesome. So many exciting boxes.
That would be so good to see, and I'd be all about that.
In terms of who will win, I don't know. I would like to see it be Kurt Angle to have that win. They hug it out. Does the arm in the air. Well, and everyone just fucking cries.
And like we've said, like they have a lot of history. Like when John Cena first came to the WWE as prototype, his first match was an open challenge from Kurt Angle. Yep. He accepted. So it goes back a long way. I think that was like 2002 or something like that.
Like
so
17, 18 years of stuff,
it was a long time ago. So it'd definitely be a beautiful thing to watch, and I will cry like a child.
Because as I said last week, like I've gained a connection to Kurt Angle, not in the idea that we make fun of him with his thumbness, but as I mentioned last week with my son, with my son, that the first sort of wrestling thing he's done is the "You suck," and I tweeted at him and he tweeted back, and
it definitely builds that
he's like,
connection.
the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's true. It's damn true. I'm like,
oh, that's so cute.
So like that's huge for me, and I know Dash, and I hope that's where it's going. Number 2, last week we reported, which we did, that Ambrose has signed a new deal with the WWE. It now is in the current plans to keep Ambrose on, but off TV.
Interesting.
To hype up his, quote, return, and heel turn him with the new faction expected to debut in May.
Ooh.
This was shown this past week with Ambrose coming out after Raw went off the air to aid his Shield partner Seth Rollins, only to further speculation that Ambrose is sticking around after Mania.
Interesting.
What do you think?
I think, talking about this new faction and the Shield and stuff like that, I have a funny feeling, because obviously Seth has said that, Dean is his wrestling soulmate and stuff like that. I have a feeling that they're going to pair up and make this faction, and Roman Reigns is going to be left on his own.
Well, it depends how long he's out, or how long he's pretending to have him out. So there is, I think it may have been for SummerSlam.
Because
there was in part of the promotional material, they did mention Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and temporary Shield member Braun Strowman. So, either they're a new faction and then Dean has his own. I don't know where that's going to go, but it depends on how long they want to keep him off camera.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously saying that he's come out to help Seth has me ticking over that maybe Seth could take the title from Brock and then go after Roman.
And then
Roman goes after them. Roman goes after them.
And that's a good way to build to the SummerSlam, not SummerSlam, or... Actually, no, we did say SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, yeah.
Yeah, Roman, or at some point, Roman versus Seth.
Yeah. I definitely think that this could lead into that. Obviously, Dean's planting seeds.
That's a really good way to sell it, because once again, like... They have to have. You'd like to think they have to have 2 storylines going at once for the UC, or potential storylines. Mostly because we know in the past when they really tried to push Roman, it backfired. Right now they should really take advantage of the love that people have for Roman, and not flounder that, which WWE has floundered shit in the past. That's not worthwhile.
Which
the idea
could
of
cause
having
Seth to become upset.
Yeah, having this Drew versus Roman battle going on over here, while also preparing, this Seth. So if Drew and Roman kind of falls flat, no one really cares. So if they move into SummerSlam and it doesn't look that Drew is hot, so they're going to keep Seth Rollins and Drew. They're not going to have that match for Drew to get the belt. So they're going to shift gears and move towards Seth and versus Roman sooner than later.
Yeah, I definitely reckon whether it is sooner or later, I think that may be something that may come into play, because we do know that Dean and Seth do have a very strong connection, and some of my sources behind the scene have told me that there has been a little bit of tussling between Seth and Roman.
Fucking you with these sources. What the hell's this?
Yeah,
who's slipping into your DMs and not mine?
Dan knows all. My boyfriend is just ridiculous. He knows some shit. Like,
did you pick this man as your boyfriend because of this show? Like, you're like, he's really pretty and he knows things.
He was wearing a Becky the Man shirt. So, no. He's we have a long-winded history, like Kurt Angle and John Cena. So,
nice.
We're both very involved in the wrestling scene. So it definitely helps having a partner who has the same interests as you. And doesn't watch the show, so he can't be like, you stole my thing. So
saying that, my wife gives 0 shits. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah. I'm super lucky that I can just steal all his little sources and little notes, because then he obviously doesn't watch. So he can't be like, hey, you're stealing my shit, because I just do it anyway.
And finally, it wouldn't be Dash if he didn't give us some AEW news. Ooh. AEW has reportedly closed a solid, quote, TV deal with Turner Network Television.
Woo!
That's TNT. With AEW expected to air, weekly with Tuesday nights, supposedly in October, when SmackDown Live does head to Friday with Fox. Yeah. Makes sense. They're not really competing, but they sort of are. And we should mention the last time TNT aired pro wrestling was back in March 2001 with the very last episode of WCW Monday Night RAW.
Yeah, crazy.
And now,
That's
to go
exciting.
on top of that, there was mention of...
That's really exciting.
Yeah, 1 second. So there was a trademark for a name that was... Oh, what the fuck is it? There was a rumor... I can't seem to find it now. There was a rumored trademark for the name for their Tuesday night show. With it being... Because with the names that they're going for, the structure of them... so they have, All In was their first one, the Double or Nothing, and then Tuesdays had another sort of gambling inspired name. And for the life of me, I can't seem to find it. Hang on, here we go. Please excuse the quiet as I look into this. Let's see. Going through the things, looking at all the things. Tuesday Night Dynamite.
I like it.
It's a fucking dope name. So it kind of doesn't fit. I was wrong. It didn't really fit the theme, but I do like the rhyme scheme. So because they've got All or Nothing in, I think it's May. So it's real close.
Yeah.
I'm hopefully we can get into some AEW stuff because by the looks of it, they only do pay-per-views, so it might be worthwhile for us checking out up until presumably if they're not doing the TV deal until October. It was something cool we can check out as well.
Yeah,
now, come October, we will have to shuffle the day that we record and the day that this show goes live. So we may look at probably bring NXT in a little bit because NXT is on like a Wednesday, a Thursday for us. Maybe I'll just swing NXT in, so I might get a little bit busy towards the end of the year. Because NXT's fucking gold, and you can't miss out on NXT.
It is so good. I've been watching a lot of NXT lately. Obviously, like we watched the the Dusty Rhodes Classic or whatever it is. That was so interesting to watch. Obviously, that little Gargano Ciampa thing was really, really freaking cool.
And we'll no doubt We'll no doubt chat about NXT Takeover as well. It's going to be
Takeovers are
good.
Awesome. But it was definitely something I'd definitely be interested in.
That's true. And that does bring us to the end of this week's episode of The Young and the Wrestlers. This show takes place every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on podcast services, 9 a.m. on what?
I just said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting
9 a.m. on the YouTubes, and we will be up to date very, very soon. For those of you that are listening on the audio, thank you very much.
Watch us, we're pretty.
Sometimes.
He's pretty.
Lost my own train of thought. Yes, if you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/thepopculturist or the Discord channel. Link is in the description below. Or if you want to just email us, mail@thepopculturist.com. Or we also have a online form. If social media is not your thing, just go to thepopculturist.com/questions. There are 3 options there. One of them is Young and the Wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Tick that button. Give us this. Even if you want to be an unnamed source and give us some fucking details. If you want to slip into our DMs, you can do that. You can use that online form anonymously. Where social media obviously requires your name. There's a place. Give us your fucking deeds. Give us all your wrestling things. As we move into WrestleMania, I want to hear some stuff. I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear your predictions.
If you have sources that we don't tell you
although
things.
we have Dish in the Dirt Sheet Dash at the end, I would love to have a community involvement mode at the end where you guys pump out some predictions, pump out some thoughts.
Questions, suggestions. If you want us to talk about something specific, let us know. We are more than open to it. We want your involvement. This is your shows as much as it is ours.
And if you want to show your love for this show, head over to thepopculturist.com/shop. Shirts like this and other wrestling inspired designs, as well as all other stuff like For the Players, popcorn spoilers, all those other things that are around and available. And twitch.tv/thepopculturist, which will a couple of weeks time we'll be doing our predictions for Wrestlemania.
It's gonna be a long
night.
Be a
fucking long ass stream, so might do that one a bit earlier. Craig will be here with me, so we'll okay, because Craig wants to do those monthly shows. He fucking has a great time, so he's happy.
I love it. Craig's a good time.
And I should mention while you are on those podcast platforms, be sure to give us 5 stars, review us, whatever you need to do on whatever platform. Give us some Kurt Angles. Please help spread the word of this show. We would like to get this into the ears of more people. Obviously, makes total sense. The more listeners, the better the show can do. The more cool things we can do. Because think about it. If if WWE do come back from some house shows or even a pay-per-view later in this year, we want to be there.
Yeah.
You guys can help make that happen.
Definitely.
We can be there. We can
like we did with the Young and the with Fighting with My Family,
which is in cinemas right now. Go check it out.
Yep. And our review for it is live too.
It's been live for a while.
Yeah.
The video will be live probably tomorrow, next couple of days.
Yeah. So definitely check it out.
But anyway, until next week, I'm Ryan Batson.
And I'm Jem Moon.
We'll see you then.
See ya.